It's a quiet, frustrating moment that many men know all too well. The desire is there, the connection with your partner is strong, but when the time comes, your body doesn't respond with the same reliability or firmness it once did. The immediate thought for so many is, this is it. This is just what happens when you get older. You start to wonder if your testosterone has vanished, if this vital part of your identity and your relationship is simply fading away for good. This feeling can lead to a sense of inadequacy, a quiet anxiety that builds before every intimate moment, creating a cycle of stress that only makes things worse. I want you to know, right from the start, that this experience is incredibly common, and it is not a personal failing. It is a physiological challenge, and for many, it has a cause that is far more within your control than you might imagine. The typical next step is a visit to the doctor. You explain the situation, perhaps get some blood work done, and often hear the same conclusion. Your hormone levels are normal for your age. While meant to be reassuring, this can feel even more confusing. If it's not the hormones, then what is it? You might be trying to do all the right things, eating better, staying active, managing stress, but this specific issue remains stubbornly persistent. What if the entire premise that this is a problem of hormones or desire is fundamentally flawed? I'm going to show you today that for a vast number of men, the issue isn't a lack of a signal from the brain, but rather a problem with the body's delivery system. There's a simple mechanical process at the heart of this, and it's often hindered by an invisible habit that you may be doing every single night without a second thought. In my years of focusing on healthy aging, I've seen this exact scenario play out countless times. A man comes in feeling defeated, convinced that his body's engine has run out of fuel. He's worried about letting his partner down and feels like he's lost a fundamental part of his vitality. But what the science and my observations have shown me is that in most cases, the engine is still perfectly fine. The desire, the spark, the initial neurological signal, it's all there. The bottleneck is in the plumbing. Think of it this way. Your brain is sending a clear command, but the circulatory pathways that need to execute that command have become less flexible and responsive over time. They can't open up with the same force and speed. This is not a sign that you are broken. It's a sign that a specific system in your body needs targeted support to get back in sync. Throughout this video, we are going to explore this mechanical slowdown. And in detail, I'll explain the simple, crucial role of a single molecule in your body that acts as the master switch for this entire process, using a clear analogy of an irrigation system to make it all click into place. Curious? More importantly, I will reveal the invisible error I mentioned earlier, a common routine at the end of the day that creates a nutritional void during your body's most critical repair window. Once you understand this missed opportunity, it will become obvious why even your best health efforts might not be moving the needle on this particular issue. The most empowering part is that identifying this error also reveals the solution, a simple, practical adjustment to your nightly routine. It's a small, vascular tune-up designed to give your body the exact resources it needs to work on repairing that plumbing system while you sleep. This is a subject that often stays behind closed doors, creating a sense of isolation when, in reality, it's a shared experience for millions of men. Bringing this conversation into the light and understanding the underlying physiology is the first step toward regaining a sense of control and confidence. If this topic is meaningful to you, I encourage you to support our community by subscribing to the channel and giving this video a like so that others can find this information more easily. I would also love to see you share in the comments, without any private details, of course, if thinking about this as a circulatory or plumbing issue rather than a hormonal one offers a new perspective. Our journey today begins by shifting our focus from the problem to the solution, which lies hidden in the final moments of your day just before you turn out the lights. So, let's set aside the common concerns about hormones and desire for a moment and focus on the mechanics of what's happening. In most cases I've observed, the initial spark, the psychological and emotional drive, is still very much present. Your brain is sending the correct signal loud and clear. The breakdown is happening in the delivery. Imagine you've ordered an urgent package. The order is placed correctly, but the delivery truck gets stuck in traffic or finds the road has narrowed. This is what's happening inside your body. The issue isn't a lack of command, but a challenge in the execution of that command. It's a problem of hydraulics, of plumbing. And the most empowering part of understanding this is that mechanical issues can often be supported with mechanical solutions. Your body's engine is still running. We just need to ensure the fuel lines are clear, flexible, and ready to respond when you hit the accelerator. To make this perfectly clear, let's use a simple analogy. Think of your circulatory system, specifically the arteries responsible for this function, as a sophisticated irrigation system made of highly flexible, high-tech hoses. For most of the day, a steady, calm flow of water moves through them to nourish the landscape. But when you need a powerful surge of water to a specific area, the system is designed to respond instantly. A central command tells a specific valve to open wide, and the flexible hose needs to expand to accommodate a massive, rapid increase in volume and pressure. An erection is fundamentally a hydraulic event. It depends entirely on this system's ability to open the floodgates on demand and for the hoses to be pliable enough to handle that sudden, powerful flow. The firmness and reliability you're looking for are direct results of how well this irrigation system performs its most demanding task. The master controller of this entire process, the signal that tells the main valve to open, is a single crucial molecule your body produces called nitric oxide. This isn't a complex chemical you need to memorize. Just think of it as the body's primary go signal for blood flow. It's a vasodilator, which is a technical term for a simple job. It tells the smooth muscles lining your artery walls to relax. When those muscles relax, the artery, our flexible hose, widens dramatically. This molecule is the key that unlocks the entire process. Without a strong, clear, and sustained nitric oxide signal, the muscles stay partially constricted, the hose doesn't expand to its full capacity, and the surge of blood required for a firm erection simply can't get through. It's the foreman on the construction site who must give the command before the heavy equipment can move. Let's walk through the sequence of events. When your brain registers arousal, it sends a nerve signal down to the delicate lining of the arteries in the penis. This lining, called the endothelium, is like a smart, responsive wallpaper inside the blood vessels. Its job is to immediately release a puff of nitric oxide in response to that signal. This puff of molecules instantly penetrates the surrounding muscle cells and tells them to let go. The effect is immediate and powerful. The artery expands, and blood, which is always under pressure in the circulatory system, rushes in to fill the space. This rapid and sustained inflow is what creates the firmness and rigidity. So, you can see it's a beautiful, precise chain of command: signal from the brain, nitric oxide, release from the endothelium, muscle relaxation, and finally, the hydraulic effect. It all hinges on that one molecular command. Now here is where age enters the picture, but not in the way you might think. It's not that the system suddenly breaks. Instead, its efficiency can gradually decline. One of the primary factors is that the body's ability to produce nitric oxide on demand can become less robust over the years. This is partly due to a lifetime of what we call oxidative stress, the natural wear and tear that comes from turning food into energy. Think of it like a bit of static building up on a phone line. The message is still being sent, but it doesn't come through with the same crystal clarity. The endothelium, our smart lining, might not produce as potent a puff of nitric oxide as it did a decade or two ago. The command to relax becomes more of a suggestion than an order, leading to a less dramatic response from the arteries. It's a two-part challenge. Not only can the nitric oxide signal weaken, but the arteries themselves, our flexible hoses, can become less responsive. The health of that endothelial lining is critical. Over time, due to diet, lifestyle, and that same oxidative stress, this lining can become a bit stiffer and less dynamic. This means that even when a decent signal does get through, the vessel wall itself might not be as pliable. It doesn't expand as easily or as fully, so you have a potentially weaker signal being sent to a less responsive receiver. This combination is the core mechanical reason why performance can become inconsistent. It's not a failure of your manhood or your hormones. It's a decline in the function of a very specific physiological system that relies on molecular signals and physical flexibility. This is the physical reality behind the feeling of frustration. When you feel that an erection isn't as firm as it used to be, or it's harder to maintain, what you are experiencing is this hydraulic inefficiency in real time. There simply isn't enough blood flowing in at a high enough pressure, and it isn't being trapped effectively because the vascular channels didn't open wide enough or fast enough. This directly connects to that feeling of reduced vitality or a lack of force in your body's response. It's not in your head. It is a tangible physical event rooted in the health of your blood vessels and the availability of that critical signaling molecule, nitric oxide. Understanding this moves the problem out of the realm of shame and into the realm of physiology, where we can begin to look for practical ways to offer support. The most crucial takeaway from all of this is that this system is not permanently broken. It is a dynamic system that is constantly being maintained and repaired by your body. The endothelium has the capacity for repair, and the pathways that produce nitric oxide can be supported. This is not about trying to turn back the clock 30 years. It's about understanding that the performance of the system is directly linked to its health and the resources it has available for maintenance. Just like the irrigation system needs a good maintenance crew to keep the hoses flexible and the valves lubricated, your vascular system needs specific building blocks to do its repair work effectively. This brings us to a critical question. Are we unknowingly creating a major obstacle that prevents this natural, nightly maintenance from ever happening? The question then becomes, where does this breakdown in maintenance originate? The invisible error I mentioned is not a complex action, but rather a simple omission, a missed opportunity that happens in the final hour of your day. It's hidden in your pre-sleep routine. During the night, while your conscious mind is at rest, your body's internal maintenance crews are at their busiest, repairing the wear and tear of the day. This is especially true for the delicate lining of your blood vessels, the endothelium. This nightly repair cycle is absolutely critical for keeping that irrigation system flexible and responsive. However, for this repair work to be effective, the maintenance crew needs the right tools and materials. If they show up to the job site and the supply truck never arrived, they can do very little to patch the cracks and reinforce the structure for the next day's demands. This leads us to the heart of the problem, the common habit of creating a nutritional void right before this critical repair window opens. For many, the last thing consumed hours before bed is dinner, followed by nothing but plain water. While staying hydrated is essential, plain water provides zero of the specific building blocks, the antioxidants and phytonutrients, that the endothelial repair crew desperately needs. Even worse, some common nightly rituals, like a small glass of alcohol or a sugary snack, actively work against this process. They can increase inflammation and oxidative stress, essentially throwing obstacles in the path of the repair crew. You think you are doing something harmless or even healthy, but you are inadvertently sending your maintenance team into their most important shift of the day completely empty-handed, leaving your vascular system to fend for itself night after night. Let's make this very concrete. If your routine sounds like this, you may be contributing to this problem without realizing it. Perhaps you finish your evening meal around 7, and then for the next 3 or 4 hours before sleep, you only drink plain water. Or maybe you have a small nightcap, a glass of wine or whiskey, believing it helps you relax. Or perhaps it's a few cookies or a bowl of ice cream. On the surface, these habits seem entirely normal and benign. But from a physiological standpoint, each one represents a critical missed opportunity. You are failing to supply your body with the specific compounds it needs to counteract the day's oxidative stress and rebuild the sensitive machinery responsible for producing nitric oxide. You're not doing something wrong, but you are missing the chance to do something profoundly right for your circulation. The immediate consequence of this nightly neglect often manifests not just physically, but psychologically. When you find your body's response is unreliable, it creates a cycle of performance anxiety. The next time an intimate moment approaches, a part of your brain is already bracing for potential disappointment. This stress itself is a powerful vasoconstrictor. It causes your blood vessels to tighten, directly opposing the very relaxation you need. So, the initial mechanical inefficiency, caused by a lack of nightly repair, triggers a mental and emotional response that further sabotages the mechanical process. It becomes a frustrating and self-fulfilling prophecy where the fear of the problem actively makes the problem worse. This is the immediate, tangible impact you feel, the intersection of a physiological limitation and the emotional weight it carries, turning a simple mechanical issue into a source of deep personal frustration. Over months and years, the cumulative impact of this nightly nutritional void extends far beyond any single moment of intimacy. It contributes to a gradual systemic decline in circulatory health. Think of it as a slow, progressive stiffening of all the flexible hoses in your irrigation system. When the endothelium is not properly repaired night after night, it loses its pliability and responsiveness. This isn't just happening in one area, it's a body-wide phenomenon. This systemic arterial stiffness is a well-known factor in age-related health challenges. What you are experiencing as a personal issue of erectile quality is, in many cases, an early and very specific symptom of a much broader underlying issue, a circulatory system that is slowly losing its youthful flexibility and dynamic power because it's being deprived of the resources needed for its own nightly upkeep. This systemic decline has functional effects that you likely feel in other areas of your life, even if you haven't connected the dots. Do you ever feel a general lack of physical oomph or power? A sense that your body just doesn't have the same force behind it that it once did? Have you noticed that your hands and feet seem to get colder more easily? Or that your overall stamina for physical tasks, like climbing stairs or doing yard work, has diminished more than you'd expect? These are all classic signs of a less efficient circulatory system. When your arteries can't dilate effectively to deliver oxygen-rich blood where it's needed, every physical action requires more effort. The problem you notice in the bedroom is simply the most sensitive and obvious indicator of a system-wide delivery issue that can subtly drain your energy throughout the entire day. There is even an effect on your appearance that is directly tied to this same mechanism. Healthy, vibrant skin tone and a look of vitality are heavily dependent on robust microcirculation, the flow of blood through the thousands of tiny capillaries just beneath the surface. When your larger arteries are less efficient, this delicate network is one of the first places to suffer. This can lead to a complexion that looks more drained, tired, or pale. It's that subtle difference between looking robust and healthy for your age versus looking fatigued. It's another outward reflection of the internal reality. The same circulatory inefficiency that impacts your performance and your energy levels can also rob your appearance of its natural vitality, showing on your face what your body is experiencing on the inside. It's all part of the same interconnected system. So, we can see a clear progression. A simple nightly habit of not providing the right resources for your body's repair cycle leads to an immediate feedback loop of anxiety and frustration. Over time, this contributes to a gradual systemic stiffening of your entire vascular network. This, in turn, manifests as a noticeable reduction in your daily energy, stamina, and even your outward appearance of vitality. Understanding this chain of events is incredibly empowering because it reveals that the problem isn't some mysterious, irreversible decline. Instead, it's a logical consequence of a specific, correctable oversight. The issue is a nightly resource deficit, and the good news is that a system that can be hindered by a lack of resources can also be profoundly supported by consistently providing the right ones at the right time. The solution, then, is not to search for a magic button, but to strategically support your body's own maintenance schedule. The adjustment is a simple, practical addition to your evening routine that I call the nightly vascular tune-up. It involves introducing a simple, easily digestible beverage about 30 to 60 minutes before you go to sleep. The purpose of this is to directly counter the nutritional void we discussed. Instead of sending your body's repair crew into their most important shift empty-handed, you are providing them with a concentrated delivery of the exact tools they need. This is not a drug or a stimulant. It is a nutritional strategy designed to work in harmony with your body's natural overnight regeneration cycle, giving that delicate endothelial lining the resources it requires to repair the day's wear and tear and optimize its function for the day to come. The preparation is designed for simplicity and consistency. It involves stirring a small amount of a high-quality food-based powder into a glass of water until it's fully dissolved. The key here is the source of the nutrients. These powders are typically derived from foods known to be exceptionally rich in the specific phytonutrients and antioxidants that support the body's natural nitric oxide pathways. Think of the deep, vibrant colors found in foods like beets, pomegranates, or dark berries. Those colors are often indicative of the powerful compounds that protect and support our circulatory health. To ensure this tune-up is effective, it's important to consume it on its own, not with a heavy meal, a sugary drink, or any alcohol. These can create inflammation and interfere with the body's ability to absorb and utilize these delicate but powerful nutrients, effectively canceling out the benefit you're seeking. Consistency and timing are everything when it comes to supporting a biological rhythm. This nightly beverage should become a non-negotiable part of your pre-sleep ritual, just like brushing your teeth. Taking it every single night, approximately 30 to 60 minutes before bed, ensures that these crucial building blocks are circulating in your system at the precise moment your body switches from its active day mode to its nightly repair mode. This timing is deliberate. It allows the nutrients to be absorbed and ready for deployment when your deep sleep cycles begin, which is when the most intensive cellular repair work takes place. By making this a steadfast habit, you are systematically ensuring that your vascular maintenance crew is never without its essential supplies night after night, allowing for a cumulative and supportive effect on your entire circulatory system. It is vital to approach this with realistic expectations. This is not an instant fix like a pharmaceutical drug. It is a long-term support strategy for your body's own systems. You are not artificially forcing a result, but rather nurturing your body's innate ability to heal and maintain itself. Because this process is gradual, you likely won't notice a dramatic change overnight. However, with consistent daily use over the course of several weeks, many men begin to notice subtle but meaningful shifts. The first sign is often an improvement in the quality and frequency of spontaneous morning erections, which is a strong indicator of improving vascular health. You might also perceive a more general sense of improved circulatory wellness. Perhaps your hands and feet feel warmer, or you have a bit more stamina during the day. These are the early signs that your system is responding. Let's connect this directly back to our irrigation system analogy. For years, your maintenance crew may have been showing up for their overnight shift with inadequate tools, unable to fully lubricate the main valve or reinforce the lining of the flexible hoses. This nightly circulation support beverage is like finally ensuring a specialized supply truck arrives just before their shift begins. It delivers the exact lubricants and high-grade patching materials, the antioxidants and phytonutrients that the crew needs. With these resources, they can work through the night to restore the pliability of the hoses, your arteries, and clean the signaling mechanism for the main valve, your nitric oxide production. Over time, this consistent maintenance ensures that when your brain sends that urgent command, the entire system can respond with the speed, flexibility, and power it was designed for. What I want you to take away from this is a profound sense of hope and control. Your body has not forgotten how to function. It has simply been operating with a resource deficit in a critical area. The issues you've been experiencing are not a sign that you are broken or that this part of your life is over. They are a sign that a specific mechanical system needs targeted support. By understanding the mechanism of nitric oxide and the importance of nightly endothelial repair, you move out of the realm of fear and into the realm of practical, intelligent action. You are not a passive victim of aging. You are an active participant in your own health. The human body, even after 60, 70, or 80 years, retains a remarkable capacity to respond when given the right conditions and the right resources. Making this small, consistent adjustment to your evening routine is a powerful way to work with your body, not against it. It is a declaration that you understand its needs and are committed to providing them. This shift in perspective from feeling frustrated with your body to actively partnering with it is often the most important change of all. It restores a sense of agency and reminds you that small, thoughtful actions, repeated over time, can create significant and lasting improvements in your health and vitality. Remember, this information can be a valuable part of your overall wellness strategy, but it is not intended to replace the guidance and treatment you receive from your trusted healthcare professionals. Your body is a responsive and resilient system, and it's never too late to start giving it the support it deserves.